So in this session, I would like to discuss the 4 factors to consider when starting or forming a business partnership. A number of successful businesses were started, in partnerships. So if you look back to Microsoft, it was started by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. You look at Apple, it was started by the two Steves, Wozniak and Jobs. And there are many other businesses, successful businesses that were started by partners. Google also was started in a partnership format. So partnerships or alliances have a number of advantages. You are able to bring different skills together. This whole effect of 1 + 1 is equals to 11, where more hands do more work because you are able to service more clients, you're able to increase your market share. So done right, partnerships can go, very, very well and successful. So if you are thinking of working with someone or entering into a partnership with someone, whether it's a joint venture or whether it's a startup of 2 or more, consider the 4 following things that I'm going to discuss. And I'm assuming, usually when we talk about partnerships, we think of the most important thing being sharing the same vision, having the same interests. And those are important. And I'm assuming that those are a given, that if you're going to look for a partner, you're going to look for somebody who's got the same vision and who shares the same interest as you. And of course, you're going to reduce this partnership to writing. So you're going to sit down and write it and sign on the partnership agreement. So I'm taking as a caveat, those are given when you look for a partner. But here are the 4 things to consider when you're looking for a partner or when you are about to enter into a partnership agreement with anyone, right? So number 1, when you look for a partner, look for somebody who brings into the partnership complementary skills, right? Somebody who is going to complement you. Often the temptation is to look for partners who have the same skills as you. So we tend to think that because we share the same skills, therefore we have the same passion. So and unfortunately, people who have the same skill sets tend to compete against each other. It serves no purpose to have the same skill set with the same strength. What happens in areas where you may have weaknesses, right? Say, for instance, I'm an accountant by profession, and I'm starting a business, and as a startup, I want to work with someone. It serves no purpose for me to, as I get into a partnership, I look for someone who's also an accountant, because we have the same skill set. What I need to do is I need to make an assessment and say, what are my weaknesses? What do I struggle with, right? The accounting skill set is taken care of. I'm okay with that. That's done. But what do I lack? So often you'll find that I lack marketing skills. So I'm not a multiplier. So if I'm considering a partnership, I would want to bring somebody who's very good at business development, who's very good at bringing business, making it rain. So I would then want to enter into a partnership with somebody who's going to complement my skills, not necessarily bring the same skills. So it is important for entrepreneurs to do a personal SWOT analysis and then decide which type of skills he or she lacks, and the areas where there are weaknesses is, the potential for you to bring a partner to complement you. So Number one factor to consider when forming partnerships is to look for somebody who is bringing complementary skills and not necessarily competing skills. So you want somebody who will complement you, somebody who will bring what you lack. If I'm a simplifier, I need to bring somebody who is a multiplier so that we are both of us able to combine our skills and prosper. If I'm a multiplier, in other words, if I'm very good at business development, I need somebody who's also very good at doing the technical work, and both our skills can propel us to higher levels. So factor number one, look for somebody who brings complementary skills and not necessarily competing skills. Factor number two, when forming partnerships, is you need to decide, whoever you bring into the partnership, decide on the leadership roles, right? In any partnership, there has to be a leader or a CEO, or as the guys in the taxi industry in South Africa would say, chairman, the chairman, right? So there has to be a leader. Even if it's a 50-50 partnership, there has to be a leader who takes responsibility and accountability of the partnership decisions. In a partnership of more than two, where one partner is responsible, say, for instance, for marketing, and another partner is responsible for finance, how decisions are supposed to be made is the decisions that have a marketing implication. In other words, what type of marketing collateral do we use? How do we position ourselves in the market? Those decisions will be taken by a partner who is responsible for the marketing department. And decisions that have to do with financing or have financial implications must be taken by the finance partner. But say you have decisions that are of strategic impact, for instance, or leadership impact, or the overall operation of the partnership. Those decisions should be taken by the CEO of the partnership. It is important that partners decide who will be the leader of the partnership. This not only saves time in decision-making, because if you don't have a designated leader and there's a decision that needs to be taken, and say, for instance, there's 5 partners in the partnership, we then have to consult each and every one of those partners to make a decision. Sometimes that tends to slow the decision-making process. So if we have decided, out of the 5 of us, we've decided that one of us is going to be a CEO, and there are certain decisions that needs to be taken impromptu, the CEO should have that power to make those decisions. So number 2, and the second factor to consider when forming partnerships is leadership. So number 1, we said bring complementary skills, not competing skills. Number 2, it's very, very important that we agree on who the leader of the partnership is. The third factor to consider when forming partnerships is work ethic, right? So it's important to set minimum working hours or minimum deliverables or targets that all partners must contribute towards the partnership in a fair and equitable manner. What I've seen when people don't put work ethics requirements on the table is that you are likely to have one partner who's a workaholic, who puts in extra hours in the partnership. They work hard, they're the ones who are bringing business. And then other partners, are passengers in the bus. They just put in the bare minimum. They don't bring business. But when it comes to profit sharing, they want to share the profits equitably. And that tends to create resentment in the partner that's working very hard because he or she feels like she is carrying the partnership and the other partners are just passengers. So, when guidelines are not set in terms of the parameters of this is the minimum working hours. This is the targets that we need to bring or to achieve as individual partners. A partner's work ethic whose work ethic is high may feel that they're carrying the partnership alone, and ultimately they feel that they're being taken advantage of, while other partners are lazing around and putting in their worth to the partnership. What I've actually seen in practice happen is the partner who's bringing the business, the partner who's working extra hard, what they tend to do is because they're unhappy about the other partners not pulling their weight, they register a separate business secretly. They register a separate business, and because they're working hard and they're bringing business, they channel some of the business to some of the new clients to their secret business that the other partners don't know about. So it's important that as we come together and as we agree to work together, as we bring complementary skills, as we decide who's going to be the CEO or the chairman of the partnership, we will also need to agree on the work ethic so that we are all carrying the partnership together going forward. Of course, there will be some partners who are hard workers by nature. They put in the hours, right? So those who are working very hard and going the extra mile should actually be compensated more when it comes to profit sharing. So we might say, for instance, let's come up with a commission fee for every new client that you bring. You get a 20% commission on that client, and over and above the profit sharing that we have agreed on. So work ethic, absolutely important. We need to, all of us, pull our weight in the partnership. We need to, all of us, contribute to the betterment of the partnership, not others working hard and others lazing around. And when it comes to profit sharing, they want to share the profits equally. It's unfair on those who are hard workers in the partnership. So that's the third factor to consider. The last factor to consider, and it's something that is often overlooked, is we need to agree on the morals and ethics of the partnership. Often this we don't consider until it's way along the game, and we start to have challenges, and we actually encounter situations that is actually bringing our morals and our ethics into question, and that actually has the tendency to break partnerships. At the outset, partners must decide the critical morals and ethics standards to adopt. Does the partnership do things by the book, or do the partners cut corners where necessary, right? Do we pay bribes, brown envelopes under the table, or do we walk away from deals that are compromising our ethics? Of course, ethics tend to be a bit of a gray area. Ethics can be relative. What is ethical to one person is not necessarily what is ethical to another person. So I've seen situations where some partners, will say, no, it's okay. If we have to pay bribes, that's how business is done here. So we're going to pay bribes. So I don't see anything wrong with that. And other partners are saying, I don't believe in paying bribes. It's unethical. I don't care if it's normal business practice here. I think it's unethical. I'm not going to do it. The issue of paying bribes may be normal business practice in other nations. They're even called gifts or management handling fees, right? Some people might say, my conscience doesn't allow, and I'm not going to engage in those type of arrangements. Some people may argue that doing business by the book depends on who's writing the book, right? Partners must agree on what these ethical considerations and boundaries are, and which boundaries not to cross. So paying bribes, sleeping with potential clients to get favors, or even in extreme circumstances, using muti or witchcraft in order to get more business, can dissolve partnerships if such issues are not agreed upon in advance. So you have a situation. I mentored a couple of young entrepreneurs back in the years, and they formed a business, and business was very slow, and they were very frustrated. And one partner said, you know, guys, in this area, in order for your business to succeed, we need to go and get a witch doctor, for instance, to come and do their thing on our business premises. And you'll see people will start flocking to our businesses in big numbers. The other partner was a born-again Christian, and he says, over my dead body, we're not doing that here, right? And it was a disagreement, and the partnership dissolved. It's something that at the beginning, at the outset, we're excited as partners, we're starting this partnership, and we don't even consider some of these things until later on, and challenges start to arise, our morals are being questioned, and problems start to magnify, that partnerships go wrong. So these are the 4 important factors to consider when you form partnership. 1, complementary skills versus competing skills. Always drive for partners who are complementing your skills, not necessarily who have the same skill set as you. Agree on the leadership of the partnership. Who is going to lead this partnership, right? There has to be a leader, even if we're equal partners, but there has to be somebody who is a leader. 3, let's agree on the work ethics. Let's not be passengers in this bus. Let's agree on our targets. Let's agree on the minimum deliverables. Let's agree on the working hours. And lastly, very importantly, what are the morals and ethics? What are the things that we don't do? And what are the things that when our morals are being questioned, what do we do? So when done correctly, partnerships can propel you to higher and dizzying heights than ever seen before. But if they're not working, partnerships can prove to be fatal. They can kill the vision, they can kill friendships, and a dream that was once something that had potential becomes a dream deferred. Thank you.